Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's been quite a little bit since I've been in the shop wrenching again. It feels good to be back. Now, last time you guys saw me in the shop, we were trying to fix the big oil leak that came on this truck after the Holley Sniper swap. After we took the intake manifold back off, redid the gasketing on the intake manifold, I ended up snapping a bolt.
Oh.
It wasn't fun, not something you ever really want to run into, but I was able to get it fixed. Just kind of put the camera down and got it done. I drilled it out, put a helicoil in it, put it back in. This thing's now been sitting for about 24 hours, so that RTV is very, very cured. We're ready to get this thing out of the shop. Once we get this thing out of here, we gotta get Cole's 4Runner in here. We got a couple little things to do. We're gonna be going to winter camp in a few weeks, and we gotta do some prep on his vehicle, so we know we're good. So, let's get the Bronco out of the shop, get the 4Runner in here. Flat tires need a little more gas.
That's not much horsepower.
Okay, that was ridiculous. So the Hyperspark ignition module got some weird power issues. It had a loose connection on there. I've had this happen before, but this one was kind of the worst of it, so I gotta check the wiring and make sure it's good. I haven't driven this thing super hard, so keep that in a mental note.
Yep, there's the dirt.
Yeah. There's the rest of the lawn.
There's what's left of the lawn.
Good try. Okay, now that the fun's over and the lawn's destroyed, we can get the runner in hand. Alrighty, what are we doing today, Cole?
We're gonna do some battery cables. We had a lot of corrosion going on, and I'm hoping this fixes some gremlins. If not, I guess me and Quaid are just gonna chase the next problem.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We got a new battery cable set from, what was it, jeepcables.com?
Jeepcables.com.
Yeah, so they make a bunch of sets for, I think, just Jeeps and Toyotas, but full set, good to go. Kind of saves us some time on that, so we'll start by just kind of ripping out the cables one by one and kind of replacing them as we see fit. These upgraded battery cables have a fuse coming off the alternator, so we gotta figure out where to mount this. This is for if you upgrade to a bigger alternator or have bigger power systems, like a big old winch or something like that. You don't put too much load on your electronic system. All right, here's the one of the first battery cables we took off. As you can see, it's really tiny. This is what is being replaced with it. Much bigger. Yes. The nice thing about these cables is they are labeled. So battery negative to the fender. Easy peasy. We got everything done up here as much as we can. We got the fender one hooked up. We got the engine block one. We got our new powertrain control module. Last thing we got to do up here is run this alternator cable. The alternator's down here. The fuse, factory fused power comes right here and then comes up and over. So I'm going to try and mimic it to come around this way across the core support, mount the fuse here, and then run the alternator down here. Okay, got the alternator cable in. Still gotta wire it up down there, but just kind of followed the factory routing all the way up the radiator support. Can't even see it in there. There she is. Down and around. Mounted the fuse holder right on the inside of the battery. Now, everything up here is good. We gotta go under, take the starter wire off, mount that, mount the alternator. Alrighty, we got her up on the lift just to find out that we can only do the starter cable from underneath. That's okay, we have a lift, we gotta use it, right? Got the starter positive hooked up. That is good to go. And now we gotta go bring this thing back down, get the alternator finished up, and then get this engine block to firewall cable in. Alrighty, got the alternator hooked up. So we ended up not utilizing this big cable, which is engine block to firewall, because the factory one is kind of in a pain in the ass location. It's right there to right down there. Kind of a pain to get to. And that one's not really doing a whole lot besides just like shielding electronics and shielding sensors. The size of that cable is perfect for what it does. The big cables that we have is already an upgrade. I don't see the need for that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we just gotta get the battery hooked up. I have to splice in some ring lugs to Cole's onboard air here, and then we'll be good to go. Alrighty, we just finished up here. I really like these terminals. I was always indifferent about them. I never bought them, but now that I'm working with them from this kit, they are incredible. Nice lead too. They're not a cheap casting or anything. So I'm really excited to see how long these last. Greased them up, got all the cables hooked up. Now we are at the time where we're gonna fire this thing up, see if it starts faster, and then do some just kind of basic checks on the electronics. Hopefully this fixed some of the little problems we got. Wow. She fired right up. Does she normally?
I don't really like. We didn't just have it running before we started this.
Yeah, she was warm. She wasn't that warm though.
I'm curious to see like cold. You know?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Alrighty, it has been quite some time since I picked up the camera. Clearly, Cole's 4Runner's not in here. My truck's now in here. Cole's 4Runner got done. Those cables were super nice. Pretty simple install. I really like those battery terminals. Super quick install. I'll leave a link in the description below to the cables that Cole purchased. But yeah, today I've just been tidying up the shop, kind of taking it easy, giving my truck some much needed love. This thing's been super neglected, so I'm trying to show it as much love as I can. Just got done detailing the whole interior. Super happy with it. This thing was way too dirty for a truck that sits most of the time. Now I'm gonna dive into a couple little things on this thing. Try and work some issues I'm having with my radio. So yeah, not something super exciting, not something that kind of goes with the flow of this video. This truck needs a few videos in itself to get it up to par, which will be coming very soon. So be on the lookout for that. With that being said, I think we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.